Terrifying for those who were in Midtown at the same time. This happening shortly before 7 o'clock this morning on 54th Street, the side entrance to the Hilton Hotel.
It's Ryan Borgward. Today, hello Matt. I'm in my apartment. I am safe, secure.
New video released today in the ongoing search for Ryan Borgward.
I have a theory. What to do with the business is, people? It's your boy That Way with Jack Travis to be precise, man. Now, you know how we do, you know how we doing it. Back in this thing again, you understand me, man? Back in this thing with another installment of what I do. You know what I'm saying? What I do is gather this here good information for you all and bring it to you. I know you got busy lives and shit like that. You ain't really got time to be reading all these articles and things like that. I'm just a bum out here in the world. I have no life. I ain't got nothing to do. So I got time to look around and figure out what's going on. Bring it to you all, man. So there here we are. Before I get going, as always, if you like what I'm doing, like and subscribe to the channel, man. Get me back in that algorithm. Get me out of YouTube's doghouse that I'm apparently in for what reason I do not know. That's neither here nor there. Well, I guess it is here because we on YouTube. I'm making a video. So yeah. All right, so this is where we are, man. I'm sure that you all have heard about the news this here past week. There was a one CEO, goes by the name of Brian Thompson. He was the CEO of United Healthcare. He was gunned down in the streets of New York here a couple of days ago, man. Now, I've got all the details surrounding that, you know what I'm saying, a couple of videos to get into this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you haven't heard about it,
and terrifying for those who were in Midtown at the same time. This happening shortly before 7 o'clock this morning on 54th Street, the side entrance to the Hilton Hotel. And what we have learned is that, according to multiple sources, it was a targeted attack on a man, a 50-year-old CEO of United Healthcare. Let me give you a look here. Behind me, this is the location where police are still here actively holding down this scene. The victim, 50-year-old Brian Thompson. He's been CEO of United Healthcare since 2021. This is a massive company providing insurance for some 29 million people. The attacker, described as wearing a black mask, having a gray backpack on, and wearing either a black or cream jacket. After firing multiple shots, he then ran off into the alley northbound next to the Ziegfeld Theater. There were obviously many people around at this time of the morning, people getting their morning coffee, commuting, tourists. I mean, this is the day when the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree is being lit. It is a time of the year when tourists are in town. This particular man was in town for an investors meeting, is what we are learning. And somebody walked up to him and shot him in the chest. He died a short time later, despite being taken to Mount Sinai Hospital. Eyewitness who was right on the street, just steps away from where this happened, spoke with Pix 11 News.
I hear a shot, and when I look around, I saw a guy with a gun, you know, and he shot 3 times, and then he started running. I was scared, you know, because my car was on, and maybe he's gonna shoot me because I saw everything, you know.
Again, United Healthcare, they're this big healthcare provider, and you know, a lot of people out here have problems and angst and anxieties and vendettas, this, that, and the third, when it has to come to, you know, their state of health and the type of coverage and help that they can get based off of what they have, man. And I can tell you from someone that is, you know, in the healthcare world, it's a very expensive bill to have. You dig what I'm saying? I don't know that. I don't know the exact, but I'm getting into some courses now that'll give me some more insight to exactly how it goes as far as the billing. Because I know procedures are so expensive, man. Even if you don't have insurance, I don't know how easy it is to deny that person service or care. I know in most circumstances, if you report to the emergency room, you're going to be taken care of. But things have gotten murky, man. It's privatized these days. And healthcare is largely dependent on how much you pay some insurance carrier out here. You dig what I'm saying? So, but again, it creates a lot of bad situations for a lot of people and families out here, man. So, if that ends up being the motive behind it, then, you could probably sort of see that coming. You dig what I'm saying? But I got a couple of facts about Mr. Brian Thompson and his days over at United Healthcare. And so let me read it to you all. So things like the algorithmic denial of care, right? So United Healthcare has been accused of employing an AI algorithm to override physician recommendations for extended care, leading to denials of coverage for patients who might benefit from post-acute care in nursing homes. This practice has been criticized for prioritizing cost savings over patients' needs, resulting in a significant increase in coverage denials. This controversy has led to legal action with a class action lawsuit filed against the company for these practices. Mental health coverage limitation. Another significant controversy involves United Healthcare's practices in limiting mental health care coverage. Leaked documents and investigations have revealed that the company used internal guidelines to manage therapy costs, which included setting arbitrary thresholds for therapy sessions and targeting certain patients for reduced benefits. This practice was deemed illegal in some states, but similar methods persist due to the patchwork of regulations across the U.S. Things like emergency room coverage policies. United Healthcare attempted to implement stricter criteria for emergency room visits, which would have potentially denied coverage for what the insurer deemed non-urgent ER visits. This policy faced significant backlash from medical professionals and patient advocacy groups, leading to its delay and eventually abandonment. Critics argued that patients shouldn't have to self-diagnose the severity of their condition before seeking emergency care. All right. We also have, just check this graph out right here. Now, this graph indicates that United Healthcare, at a clip of 32%, denied insurance claims, right? Now, that's what I spoke on as far as, a lot of families, it affects these families, man, just denying these claims when they put claims in, whether it's an accident or trying to get the medications. It's a lot of parameters when it comes to that. You dig what I'm saying? So, on top of the human factor, you dig what I'm saying? Just somebody's life that they affected by their loved one dying off and not being able to get the proper care. You heard that they're being investigated, so that, it could get sticky, it could get murky. I won't get ahead of myself. I'll wrap it all up towards the end. But those were some wild little tidbits about Mr. Brian Thompson and United Healthcare. Now, you keep hearing me say I have a theory, right? And I do have a theory. I have a theory that involves this guy.
Need advice on anything?
I go to Uzbekistan or stay here?
Say that one more time.
Do I go to Uzbekistan or stay here?
Do you have family there?
No.
Why do you want to go?
Meet a woman?
To meet a woman. And it was
Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan. You don't like American women?
Oh, they're familiar.
So you've given up on meeting someone here?
No, I'm married.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you want to find someone else?
Empty nest. I'm not sure. That's why I'm asking you.
Wait, empty nest? What do you mean?
Empty nest. My kids are out of the house now.
So you want to find, adopt a child?
No. I want to find a companion that I'm content with.
I think that requires you to divorce someone first.
Well, maybe.
Or is she okay with that?
That's a good question. Remains to be seen.
Have you guys had a conversation about that? So, would it be like a throuple or something?
No.
Okay. Oh, you guys would get a divorce possibly.
Possibly, yeah.
Do you just feel like there's no love left between you guys?
Diminished.
Finished? Well, I think you guys should definitely have that discussion and see where things are going between you two before you leave the country.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you guys should sort out where your marriage is right now. I think that's the first thing to do.
Well,
And I think you'll feel less lost and like things are up in the air.
yeah. 6 months later.
Yeah, you guys should sort that out.
That's the advice.
Yes, you need to figure out where
And if that's
what's
not
going
possible,
on. Why is it not possible?
Indecision.
I feel like indecision is a decision in itself. Because if you're even questioning. Yeah. What was your name?
Wow.
Twa? Bailey, nice to meet you. Yeah, talk to your wife, sort it out.
Fair
I
enough.
think you guys need to know, be on the same page with what's happening.
What's yes or no?
About going to another country? The answer depends on where your marriage stands,
It should.
sir. Yes, it should. So sort out your marriage and then
Alright,
get back to me on that.
maybe I'll find myself on the internet and I can figure it out from there.
All right.
Sure,
Have a
great
good
day.
bike ride.
Yes.
All right. If you don't know who that guy is, that guy goes by the name of Ryan Machiavelli. Ryan, 7-Day Theory. We in it to win it. No, I'm just kidding. His name is Ryan Borgwart. Borgwardt. Ryan Borgwart. If you're not familiar with Mr. Ryan Borgwart, I'm going to get you familiar. So let me read how I know of this man. Caption reads, title of the story reads, Wisconsin man who faked his death on kayaking trip reveals how he escaped and fled to Europe. Okay. Ryan Borgward, the man who faked his own kayaking death and fled to Europe, made contact with law enforcement and revealed how he concocted his plan to disappear. Borgward disappeared August 12th after he took his kayak onto Green Lake and never returned, prompting his family to grow concerned. Green Lake County deputies responded and found Borgward's car and trailer. Boaters discovered his capsized kayak in a tackle box that contained his wallet, keys, and license. Divers from search and rescue organization Bruce's Legacy assisted in looking for Borgward in the lake, which reaches over 220 feet deep. Keith Cornican of Bruce's Legacy told Green Lake County Mark Podal that if his divers weren't able to locate a body, then there wasn't a body in the lake. They learned Borgward's passport was used in Canada the day after he disappeared. Investigators searched Borgward's home and learned that he had cleared his browser, replaced a hard drive, moved money to an overseas bank account, took out a $375,000 life insurance policy, and communicated with the woman in Uzbekistan before he disappeared. Polder said in the early news conference, it's very clear that he faked his death. Okay? In the November 21 press conference, Polder confirmed Borgward was alive and located somewhere in Eastern Europe. A woman who speaks Russian repeatedly reached out to law enforcement and connected them with Borgward. Polder said Borgward is facing an obstruction charge and tens of thousands of dollars in restitution for what it cost to spend weeks looking for him on Green Lake, as well as potential federal charges. Borgward revealed to investigators that on August 12th, he hid an e-bike near the boat launch and paddled out on his kayak in a child-sized inflatable boat. After overturning the kayak and dropping his phone in the water, Borgward paddled the boat to shore, got on his bike, spent the rest of the night riding to Madison, Wisconsin. Once there, he boarded the bus to Detroit. The bus stopped at the Canadian border and continued on into the country. He went to an airport, got on the plane, and fled. Borgward's biggest concern is how the community will react if he returns. He repeatedly said he did not think divers would spend more than 2 weeks looking for him, to which Polo responded, "I hate to tell you, but you picked the wrong sheriff in the wrong department." Well, all right. So he's trying to take Mr. Sheriff took an opportunity to say the lamest little catchline ever. But again, Mr. Ryan Borgward faked his death here back in November, I think of last year. And he's now been made contact with. Apparently, he's looking to re-enter the country. We don't know if he's re-entered or what have you. And that brings me to my theory, right? So, Mr. Borgward, we don't know the status. These two pictures kind of look eerily alike to me. It was crazy. I had both of these stories lined up to go, to make an episode about them. And when they hit, I look at it, I'm like, man, this is weird, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. This may be a complete straw man theory. You dig what I'm saying? But this is the type of YouTube thing that I'll click on myself sometimes when I see some wild little theory points about something. But for me, man, I'm like, could it be? I mean, could this be the thing, bro? Because if you look at this shooter, you dig what I'm saying? And we've got some interesting details about him. You look at the pictures, number one, you know what I'm saying? Looks strangely familiar, you know what I'm saying? The shooter appears to have had some type of motivations. If you look at what they found so far, which consists of bullet shell casings and a book bag. On the bullet casings, they had words like deny, depose.
Fox 5, Good Day New York, first on the scene. We saw as officers attempted to give this man CPR, those desperate moments. But again, this victim, the man who was shot in the chest, has died. This all happened about 6:45 in the morning outside of the Hilton Hotel right off 6th Avenue. The suspect described as a 6-foot-tall man with a slim build, possibly wearing a cream-colored jacket, black gloves. He took off northbound on 6th Avenue. People who witnessed this situation, there were actually 2 or 3 people who saw it. They said that it appeared that this suspect was waiting for hours, maybe overnight, outside of the Hilton, possibly targeting this victim. It's unclear potentially how these two know each other, what the backstory is here.
So that would lead to like the motivation of a disgruntled customer or a disgruntled family member, you dig what I'm saying, that wasn't happy with the way United Healthcare handle business when it came to someone that they loved and care about. They may in fact be the person that was denied some type of benefits. You know what I'm saying? But it could be Mr. Borgward. You know what I'm saying? We already don't know where he is. He's like a movie character right now. He's floating around. One of the most notable people. I don't know the most notable people, but one of the notable people that have managed to fake their deaths over the years. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Tupac did the same. We ain't seen Tupac since the end, though, but apparently we've seen Mr. Borgward. So I thought it was an interesting time for this little crime to be committed, man. And the two just kind of sparked a little interesting, crazy, wild thought, just a little rabbit hole to go down through, man. Would it not be like the wildest thing? It would be some American shit, right? It would be the most spot on American thing to ever happen. That go, not to ever happen. It would go right along with a lot of wild shit that America does. That this man's ticket to come back, it'll be a Netflix movie about this shit, like in about 3 months. His old deal to come back into the country was to, get on the espionage team of Big Pharma, you know what I'm saying, and assassinate this man, because it definitely looked like a targeted hit. Now, I don't want to laugh because I'm sure there's people out there that love that man like death is permanent. You know what I'm saying? If you look online, though, people, and I swear to God, man, America, we are the worst, bro. We are absolute worst. They making so many jokes because we're assuming that, with the things we do know, we're assuming that this guy was a pretty hard liner when it came to making money over making people better. You dig what I'm saying? So a lot of people were making jokes and like good riddance and this, that, and the third. I'm trying to stay away from that territory. I thought it was just an interesting two things to kind of combine and make a little show about. You dig what I'm saying? I don't even want to make any jokes about Mr. Thompson, being deceased. Not at all. I don't want to go down that road because, again, that's permanent. We've been heavily desensitized here in America and just in the general world, man, because we get to see it so excessively through these devices in our hands. You dig what I'm saying? But I thought it was wild. And it would be crazy if when they find him, it's Ryan, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't sue me, Ryan. I'm not the TikTok psychic with the Idaho case. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you're guilty of anything. I actually admire you, sir, for pulling off the whole faking of the death thing. That was pretty clear, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what you was running from. Now, if you were running from something nefarious, then everybody take this with an asterisk, is what I'm saying. But I just thought those two interesting things, man. It could be Ryan. Ryan may be back in the country on some, espionage, 007 movie, MI6 type of, action, man, and that would be some of the wildest ever. But we don't know what's up with the shooter just yet. We got a little information about his backtrackings. We've got this map that kind of showed, his movements prior to. But in New York, it's got to be surveillance cameras everywhere. I think they've got some information about him taking a Greyhound bus like the month before. So I feel like they know exactly who it is. They may know that it's Ryan. But they know who it is. They hadn't put his name out there, but they hadn't found him. I don't know if he may have ended himself, or if it's a big conspiracy and the people he was working for may have swooped him off the face of the earth, or he's just a regular guy that was frustrated and did what he thought he had to do, and now he's just running around until he gets caught. But as we get developments, I'll bring them to you, man. But until then, this has been That Way with Jack Travis. Get it y'all soon. Loud.